If we go back to 2008, when we really started working on this was not at that time driven by a climate perspective and emission reduction. It was driven by a cost perspective because we wanted to reduce the amount of fuel that we are using. Over time, we have seen that the attention to the emission effects have been really, really increasing. So now of course, we do projects because it makes sense from a financial perspective, but it also have a net positive value for us because it has a financial effect and it also have a climate effect. And I think that is also what other companies are seeing. And we're seeing this from a risk perspective and also from an opportunity perspective. There will be tremendous amount of opportunities. And this is where we kind of take those kind of signals on that elephant to look at technology, to look at the regulation, how we can impact in order to address that. So that's one of the elephants. The other elephants are, of course, related to geopolitics. And when you're operating in the global trade, geopolitics is certainly a big elephant.
I like what you were saying about these grey elephants as opportunities. Because we're strong believers at Tomorrow Today. We're strong believers that the best way to predict the future is to create it. So if you understand how these forces are shaping and changing the world, you can start to get an understanding of their projection, and then you can say, well, what are the opportunities? And how can we use those opportunities to create the future? Because I'm sure you'll agree that the future doesn't just happen; people create it. And progressive companies like yourself, we are really looking at these challenging problems and saying, how can we do better? How can we tackle sustainability in different ways and create opportunities out of them? It's a really powerful way to think about things.
One change that we have seen in that perspective is that we see that people and organizations are taking a more holistic perspective. That means that companies, they are much more aware of their surroundings with regards to the footprint of their activities, the footprint of their products. Not only from, if I'm manufacturing shoes, I'm not only for the manufacturer of shoes, but I'm also concerned about the logistic on upstream and downstream perspective of that. And that means that we need to look in a wider perspective. And I think that is one of the big changes. And that is also where we see and look at the opportunities. We also see that we have this higher on the agenda. So when you are buying a pair of shoes, more and more customers are conscious about the footprint of the product that they buy. And that means that the manufacturer and owner of the shoes, they will also want to look at how are they shoes transported from Taiwan to Europe, for example. And that means that will affect us as a transporter. Previously, that has been sort of a non-topic. It has been transported. No one really cared about that. But now you need to report on what's the value chain as well. And I think that is also something that has changed. And the reason why that has changed is that we have more and more access to data.